Skepticism is often viewed with a negative connotation, but it's actually a critical thinking process that can be done by speakers or listeners. When a person is skeptical, it means that they evaluate claims through an examination of the evidence used to support claims. Speakers can be critical when researching their topic and compiling evidence to support claims. Listeners should evaluate what a speaker is saying and determine whether it is accurate. Skepticism is not cynicism, which occurs when a speaker or listener finds fault in everything that they hear. This presentation will talk about skepticism, specifically the probability model, then how to become a skeptical listener. Click the arrow to get started. A skeptical speaker and listener can evaluate evidence using the probability model. The speaker has the burden of proof, and the stronger your claim, the greater your burden. For example, if you say that the world will become unlivable in the next 10 years if we don't do something to eliminate pollution, you better have some strong evidence to support this. Instead of making wild claims, consider what is highly probable and avoid absolutions. Here is the probability model. First, is the claim possible? Is it possible that I could check my bank account and find $1 million? Sure, anything is possible. Second, is it plausible or logical that I could find $1 million in my bank account? Sure, that's where my money goes. Next, is it probable? What are the odds that I could find $1 million in my bank account? Not very good unless I win the lottery, and even then the odds are pretty low. Finally, is it certain that I will check my bank account and find $1 million? No. Even if today is payday, it's very unlikely, let alone certain, that RMU would make that kind of payroll mistake. Again, be sure that all of your claims are based on evidence and events that are actually likely to happen. Let's talk about how to become a skeptical listener. Click the arrow to advance to the next slide. Skeptical listeners should keep an open mind, even if they don't agree with the speaker's position. However, they should challenge claims that seem improbable, like that the world will end in 10 years, whatever the speaker's reasoning. Skeptical listeners should follow the evidence. If the speaker is presenting something that seems probable, be willing to correct your current beliefs. This comes with having an open mind. Let's check your understanding. Click to advance to the next slide. It's time for the chapter checkup. What steps can you take to become a more skeptical, and by that I mean critical, speaker and listener in the classroom and in the real world? Once you've considered a couple strategies, click to the next slide. If you have any questions about this discussion, please don't hesitate to email, text, or call me.